What's up, guys? Omega Gaming here. We are here with...
I'm Luis Sanchez today. I placed 7th at the regional, running Labrynth. I've been running Labrynth since last regional. I didn't do too good with it last time, but I just kept messing with my ratios, and it's just a really fun deck that I like to play with.
What was your matchup during the regional?
I started off with Teller Knights. I won that.
Wow, okay.
Hurley, he kind of bricked game 1. I got that one. What did I play? Vanquish Soul. A really close friend of mine played Vanquish Soul, so that was kind of an easy match for me.
What was your only losses to the match?
I had 2 losses to Dragon Links,
wow,
which I kind of just do not like playing against. They just have so many resources that keep
yeah,
going.
the deck's very consistent.
And Rescue Ace, I just have not had enough practice against Rescue Ace.
Alright, let's show us the goo then.
Alright guys, so this is the deck profile. Just want to flex the mat a little bit. So your basic 3 Ariana. It's just a really nice search, a nice body on board, and if you use it right, able to get a +1 draw. I only ran 2 of the Silver Castle. I like to see her, but not too many in hand, or sometimes I'd rather see something else besides her. She is searchable, so it's not that hard to get into the hand. One of the lovelies, you do not really want to see this in hand. It is a good target to discard with either of the Stovey or Chandelier, but it's just better not to see it and leave it in deck or graveyard. It just hopefully doesn't get called by or banished. This is where it gets kind of weird. I ran 1 Ariana.
Why are you playing this? Why?
So it's sort of a different way to go, a different route to go. So if I don't run Ariana, I'm able to summon her and either discard a welcome or a big welcome. That way I already have a resource in graveyard, and I'm able to special her and search for either Coup Clock or Silver Castle. It depends how my hand is. So just I'm able to work different ways with it.
Okay.
2 Stovey, just really nice card, recycles itself. And depending if I have full engine in hand, I can already start ripping 1 from your hand on my turn. So only 2 of these, 2 Chandeliers, same reason. It just helps me set big welcome or welcome, and just recycles. 1 Coup Clock. Coup Clock, even in hand, if I have enough engine, it does come up really good. I'm able to activate either big welcome or welcome right off the bat and just start setting up my board even before it's on your turn. I ran 3 Fenrirs.
Why you ran Fenrir?
Fenrir, it's just a really pesky card. And it's an additional on my summon. I get a +1 to the hand. I can either discard with Stovey or Chandelier to set. And a lot of people went straight into battle phase just because they do not like dealing with Fenrir. They want to keep their monsters on the field and not banished. So 3 is very good for me. My ratio is good. If I go Fenrir, add, if I don't get drolled, Ariana, and then it's a pretty nasty board.
Nice.
1 Lord, just really good protecting my back row, or if I need a body and they activate a set card, I can just set down a big 3k monster and either Epidemic Virus it, or if I have it revealed, I can set any spell or trap from the deck, and that just really comes up.
So it's just 1?
Just 1. Even in the mirror match, I left it in going 2nd because, again, 3k beat stick. I'm able to either attack over stuff or crash or something like that.
Okay, interesting.
Only 2 Ashes. Really like the card. It did come up a lot, especially against mirror. I did not really want to get stuck with a lot of hand traps in hand. You'll see why in my spells. 3 draws. I really didn't draw a lot of people during regionals, but when I did, it's a guaranteed survival for a turn. Yeah, and guaranteed survival, or they just can't set up the maximum board that they wish they could.
The fact you got 7 plays, you had 3 different rarities, which is hilarious.
Man, that's all I got. and then I'll go 3 pots, because if I'm able to search, if I already have Fenrir and I can search Ariana, or if I have Ariana and I'm able to add Fenrir, it just adds to that big board I'm able to set up with the pesky Fenrir. 2 extravagance. I like it because the +2 draw, it's always really powerful. But either or, I could use either or. If they ash my prosperity, I'll go extravagance if I have both in hand, or vice versa. 3 super polys.
Wow, all right.
This is what kind of would let me break boards if I lost the dice roll. Marincess would set up a nice board on draw phase on super poly and just break all their resources. They can't use Marincess wave or any of that. Just it hits Unchained. It hits a lot of decks. Dragon Links. It hits even mirror match is great for that.
Do you ever side that out?
Depends. If I see like Sword Soul or something weird where I know I can't really hit any of their targets, I do side that out.
Okay.
1 call by.
Yep,
When it's in hand, it's clutch. They try to ghost or ash my big welcome, called by, full combo goes off. Only 2 skill drains. It came up here and there. It did a big monster stopper, and it's hard to get over. Well, I have like 3k beat sticks. I do not want to see too many in hand, so I kept it at 2 because searchable through extravagance, hopefully draw, or prosperity if I really need it. 1 goes in, just because Kashitra, there's a lot of decks that really do not want to have just 1 attribute. I left it in. It did come up clutch, even against Mirror that had Fenrir as well. They had to clear their board and just keep 1 of them. Just easy to go around. But in matchups that they did use the same, I just always side it out, and I'm able to get something else if I need.
Very interesting.
D-Barrier, of course, shuts Pearly down, kind of shuts Kashitra down. Synchro Dex it shuts down. You can slow down Dragon Links if you say Synchro.
Sorry guys, battery went off unprofessional way, but back to the deck profile.
Okay, so last one was D-Barrier. Again, hits Pearly, hits a lot of XYZ or Synchro Dex. It just stops them, or they won't set up a really nice board. Of course, 1 Eradicator. I didn't really virus anybody. It's just I'm able to search it through Silver Castle, but I don't know, I didn't really use it that much. I'd rather set up other boards, but if I needed to, I would wait for them to use all their resources, and then if able to, I'm able to set it through Silver Castle.
Will you cut this in the future?
Depends on the format, but right now I think I am going to leave these 2 at 1 each.
Okay.
1 Dogmatic of Punishment. If used correctly and timed right, with the extra deck monster, it's a really good interruption. Targets, you just have to worry about Book of Moons or something that removes targets, so you have to time it really well, but it's very efficient. 2 Infirms, really good hand trap, searchable. Sometimes that's what I would set through Silver Castle. Just when I see an opponent set a card they would use, I would just set it in that column and try to negate it as well. Only 2 welcomes. I have Stovey and Chandelier, so I really wasn't worried about drawing into it or setting it because I have those the resources.
Yeah, the free search.
Yeah. And of course, the 3 big welcome Labrynths. Amazing card. Sometimes I just kept hand looping with big welcome and Lady Lovely, just popping rip from hand, resetting, and that was a really good combination I was doing all regionals.
Alright. On to the extra deck.
Extra deck, I'll start off with 3 Elder entities with punishment. Again, if you time it right, you hit 2 of their resources, and hopefully you know their opponent enough to know where to stop them, and it just shuts them off completely. 2 Starving Venom, super poly target, or if Mirror, you could use one of theirs, one of yours, either or, just anything that deck that uses dark, you can able to pull this out easily. Garura, again, super poly target for many different decks. I hit Marenses, Mirror, a lot of different decks it hits. 3 Mud Dragons. Again, I use this a lot without knowing it would affect it Unchained that much. I would go super poly, target him, make him dark, and then they would kind of be shut off from targeting their own dark monsters. But again, super poly target just works amazing. 1 Predator Plant, in case anybody got greedy and put too many dark monsters on the field, just 3 dark monsters and a 3k beat stick, and extra deck negate.
Nice.
1 Evil Swarm, didn't really come up. It would usually get Extravagance or just throw away with Prosperity, but if need to be, I'm able to set that as a last resort.
So like if you break, you're just gonna play that?
Yeah, if I have no other options.
Okay.
1 Mudcracker, kind of like a Fiend Monster Reborn or Protection as well. Again, didn't really come up in regionals. Most of my extra deck that I used was mostly the super poly targets. 1 Dark, same thing, kind of just sitting here just waiting to get sent with Extravagance. Didn't really use it, but it has come up before, so I just leave it on there. And 1 Chaos Angel, just in case for the mirror, or if I know I'm going up against high attack monsters, I would leave it in. Hopefully didn't get Extravagance, but I just took a big risk with that.
Will you make any changes on the extra deck later on in the future?
Depends as the format goes, but as of right now, I think I'm gonna leave it. I mean, the most important, probably just the super poly
targets,
yeah, super poly targets, and Chaos Angel. I didn't use any of these at all. But Extravagance plus 2 draw. 9 to the side deck. I sided this in because I know it affects a lot of Kashitra or Pearly, but I knew this format has a lot of different decks. So depending on how the matchup would go, I would just side it in if I need to. Extra Virus, again, depends on the matchup. If D-Shifter or D-Barrier didn't work, or just depending what skill drain really wasn't working, I would just rather go see Virus. Another D-Barrier. Again, sometimes I'd rather see D-Barrier than Eradicator just because I can keep my resource of my Dark Monster and then still shut off their whole turn. 1 Ice Dragon Prison. Really underrated card in my opinion. Mirror Match, it's amazing. It gets one of their from their graveyard and then banishes both. So it banishes resources and I don't know, really good card.
Surprised you didn't play like 2 or 3 of them, honestly.
Just 1. I don't know, I think my ratio, I've been messing a lot with my ratios here at locals, and it has come up, and when it does work really good, but I don't want to see too many in hand.
Makes sense.
Just 1 Judgment. I was running 2 and 3 in the side, but sometimes I get caught with 2 in hand or maybe 2 in something else, and I'd rather see more engine right now and just more protection, either get through Prosperity or draw into it.
So you're not afraid of like Lightning Storms or Feather Duster?
No, I have Lord of Heavenly, and if they did, I'm able to hopefully either rip or just disrupt them enough where I can hopefully just make them use all their resources before.
Okay.
1 Strike. Again, I didn't run too many because I usually going first. I'll side both of these in, and I'd rather see both, 1 of each. This one against Ashes, Ghost Bells. It did a lot of protection, or even in mirror matches, the activated lady just sent it to graveyard. 3 Evenlies. This is my going second card. Just try to disrupt them, try to break their board as much. Kashitra hurts a lot. Pearly just clears their board, except their Nor. Just a really good going second in my opinion. 1 Lava Golem. I didn't run too many because I'm running Super Poly. Hopefully Super Poly was enough, but if they said a nasty Nor board, I would just kind of go into this, or any decks that would really put 2 big monsters on board, I would side this in against. 2 Gamma Seal. I don't have Kurikara, so I stuck with these bad boys. Just in case, this was mostly for the Pearly matchup. In case they said a Nor, I'm just able to tribute it and I'm able to play more in their turn. And then the Combo Deck Destroyer. This came up good against Teller Knights, round 1. He Pendulum summoned 4, summoned his Pendulum, and then I nibbed, and then on my turn I just bounced his and then attacked for game. But I really like this card. All combo decks are not afraid of it, and it's just really good insurance.
Any shoutouts or anything before we end the video?
Shout out to Rob, who I saw his deck profile a while back that really got me into Labrynth. All the Omega people, they got me tips and tricks on what to do against their decks or what I should have done. I really learned a lot, getting my butt kicked here. Just Paul, everybody here at Omega is great, and they taught me a lot.
All right, this is Omega Gaming, and we are out.